Looking back at, let's say, the Infused guys, they've had a fairly good run until, obviously, they met up with Fish 1-2-3. We missed that game, sadly, but it started off well for them, apparently. You know, they did fairly well. They picked up a couple of good rounds, but then I think they over-adapted and they kind of overly compensated for, you know, just probably an unlucky couple of rounds. And it happens. We saw it in the Call of Duty 4 when, you know, I think it's Baker's team were just, they were over kind of complicating very simple things, and, you know, they went back to basics and they almost had it. But we are going to go live into this one. We'll be seeing who's going to come out the better of this. Has the knife been done? Or is this?
As far as I'm aware. Although
it does look like it's still a knife. Yeah, they're saying knives. So even they're not too
sure. Yes, exactly.
It's not just us.
It's early Sunday morning.
It's very early. Well, for us, it's LAN early.
It's LAN early.
If it starts before 12, it's early. It's like the day doesn't start this early at gaming events. What are you doing?
Call of Duty 4 doesn't start till 12. Oh, this is an easy first knife. Oh, wow. Pow with a big one.
Indeed. Did you say Powell with a big one?
Nope.
Nope.
No, I did not.
Nope. No breakfast sausage for you. I don't think we've got any game sounds. I cannot hear any.
No, that's a very good point. But there are 4 dead members of Infused.
Game sounds.
So, London
Let's
Links
see if we've actually got sound turned on.
Choice.
Might help. Yeah, we do.
Yes.
So I'm just not getting any game sounds. We'll hopefully sort that out in just a second. Our lovely guys just beside us will have a look at the controls and play with buttons.
Teams.
Button. Damage on or off. The banter's already coming out. That's what I love about the UK teams. These two are so kind of vocal. They've played each other online several times. You know the game styles. You know, both these teams will know each other. Yep. They've watched the demos. They've watched the replays. They know exactly what they're doing here. It's not going to be, you know, running in fresh faced. You know what you're coming up against. And whether or not you can handle it in that moment, that's a very different situation. It's all very much down to situation awareness, the way they play, the individual talent. Who's warmed up as well? The Infused boys were in at the same time as me. They were ready to go. They were not messing around in any way, shape or form. We do have a bit of a B stack from the CT side as well, so let's see how that one pans out. I think they're going to push straight down with a couple of flashes and try and do the damage. And it actually might work. They've actually got some nades on them, pushing down Banana there. The fire is coming back from the likes of Pulse as they do make their way up that Banana push, looking around towards that B side. But this stack could really hold them back. Normally you might see a couple of players here, but this is a big amount of presence. So Stato has opened up here for the first game on the Sunday morning at Epic.TEN with a lovely little headshot rattling through the skull of the ever so loud Critical, but even up nevertheless with a nice little pistol from Pulse. So pushing forward towards B, the bomb is with them too. So stick with these guys. Oh, Paint's found a great headshot onto Pulse, so denying that push, and now they've got to switch something up here. They can't keep pushing into a brick wall. There's no point. You'll just get slammed back and shown to the door. So they have made their way up towards the A bomb site, looking right around, but will they find the player just laying in wait? They're checking their corners, but not well enough. Vertigo's found one, looking for the second. The fire is coming out. It's Powell going for it, but actually, Tom comes around the corner, finds Zeox, and it's all on Powell, and he's been put to bed by, I believe that is Tom. And well, it's not gone too well there for the T side. That was very aggressive from the CT players. That was, I think they knew that pistol. It was very stratted.
That was a very nice play. Yeah. You say they stacked up that B side, they locked it down, stopped that push coming in early, and then rotated in anticipation. Once they'd taken out 2, they listened to the sounds, they heard them all running away, they knew something else was going on. All right, go round, back up the guy over at A site, picked up the last couple of easy frags. And interesting enough, now they've bought, but they haven't bought particularly large weapons. We've got a couple of Pharmacies coming out, a couple of submachine guns.
So as well.
Yeah, they're not using all of their money, but they are making sure they get some kind of investment in there, some kind of leg up here over this T side, who are still just running around with pistols. But first frag down onto Pez. Paint is low though. He's got that shotgun out. Critical's dropped again as well. Drops him down. Tom Vertigo first one to drop. He had an MP7. If he's lost that, he has to Zeox. It's given T side a little bit of firepower on their side, but Zeox immediately dropped down to 2 health and dead. He did pick up a double frag, but it's still only the 2 remaining T players. We've got 3 to find, sorry. As we see Jay's getting dropped. Pulse, nice frag down on A site, but he's not alone. Paint finishes him off, even things up again. 1 round still in CT favour. Powell gets the bomb down. He's got players rotating onto him from both sides. He's got the MP7 though, lands a couple of nice shots, but there's a guy coming around behind him, and he has no idea.
No, completely clueless about that one. And to be fair, the T-side did fairly well. They got the bomb down, a good couple of frags. I don't think they're going to be upset with that one. I think they're going to be okay. You can see the likes of Critical just leaning over, having a chat. They're going to try and get their heads in the right place here. Zeox obviously listening to that and going, could have done better, you know, maybe here, there and there. And they're working on it. They're making sure they're ready for the next couple of rounds, because they did deny a couple of weapons from the London Lynx, but London Lynx didn't heavily invest. And this is an early buy coming up from the T side. This is a big investment here. I'm quite curious as to why they've done it so early on. But it's CSGO, it's a new game. I'm thinking back to the likes of 1.6 and CSS, where you would generally not see such a big investment in an early third round. Even it's not necessarily questionable for the CTs or whoever won the pistol, but for the losing side to put this much money into a round like this, it's curious. But they're confident, it seems.
Yeah, that last round was close in all fairness. Maybe with an extra weapon here, a little bit of extra higher power, it would have gone the other way. I mean, we saw a couple of the CT sides coming out with 3, 4, 5 hit points. It was just that tiny little bit, extra little bit of oomph just to knock those down. Maybe that could have been their round. Maybe that's what they're hoping for. We will see. Straight of all, though, critical drop down in Banana, drop down pushing towards our B site. There's Som picking up that frag. Pulse hanging back, trying to be a little bit safer with his AK, but there's 2 guys around the corner waiting for him. You can see it using that awesome X-ray feature. Flaps a couple of shots out onto nothing. Sees the fire coming back as he takes the flashbang. Just waits. Seeing a little bit of backup coming here with him now. He gets straight in onto the bomb site. There's a guy around this corner. Doesn't quite spot him. Som drops him with a famous. Paint's around the far side too, picking up the next one, but there's still 1 T player in here. Gets the backup from Zeox. Bomb is here on Powell, but CTs are closing in from all sides. 3v2. Not much health left on either of these Infused players, and they've got a lot of company. Jays is there. Bomb gets down, but it's too late. And JS comes around that corner with the last exit frag.
Yeah, and I want to see the money situation with the T side now. Obviously, that was a big investment into that round. Once again, Bomb down, a couple of players picked, but they haven't got that ever-needed round win, which is desperately what they do need here. It's not going too perfectly. I think they've got enough for bits and pieces, but I don't think we'll be seeing much from them as they are left in a little bit of a dire situation. Obviously, off the back of a loss of a pistol, you don't expect much, but they are once again kind of really heavily investing early on, and I'm quite curious as to why. Maybe they don't want this to slip away too early. Maybe they just want to keeping the CT side on their toes, and they are getting close rounds. Don't get me wrong, guys. It isn't really coming down to very small moments almost, where it can be like who takes that inch the wrong way, who takes the wrong shot, and who lets the position go early. But Pulse is once again looking at Banana. They seem to be favouring this B bomb site, and they are picking off the players. They just need to lock down that site. The late game play coming out from them, not ideal, but Critical looks like he's going to try and open this one up, so let's pick it up with him here.
Leading the charge in again. Didn't work out for him the last 3 rounds. He's the first guy dead every time. But this time, all 5 of them are rushing into this bomb site. They have company, yet to actually find any frags. There's some drop. That's the first one. Zeox is low now. Pulse down 2. There's the first casualty on the T side. Pulse is dropped. Pez taking quite a bit of fire from Paint, who's still doing a lot of work. Finally, he's put down. Bomb is planted. It's now all on the CT side to come and retake this bomb site. But they've got a lot of weapons and a lot of health, as opposed to these T guys who are still on a fairly cheap round. Critical fires a couple more shots out, tags JS up a little bit, nothing too serious, just holding him back and away from the site. More shots going down, JS is dropped, nice one by Powell, and there is the first round for Infused. These investments starting to pay out. A couple of very quick frags. Yeah,
big important round there. Breaking the momentum. You can even see the likes of Stat. They're clearly not happy with something. The mouse doesn't feel right this morning. He hasn't had his warm-up or even his Kellogg, so who knows what's holding him back.
Coffee.
But, yeah, caffeine is one is missing in between that one. But let's have a little look at the scoreboard. You can look at Critical and go, well, he's not doing too well, but he's been making the openings by B. He's been landing a lot of fire. He may not be claiming the shots, but he gets in the sight. He locked it down. The crossfire between him, I think it was, and Powell. Powell sat back down towards B a little bit further, just in case anyone went on the rotate background Banana, and it worked out fine. And once again, they seem to be going for this push towards Banana, but where are the CTs going? They're all the way off towards A, and I think the T-sides are even surprised they've got such a rotate that's happened. They're completely unaware, and they're just going straight in, and you can see with the X-ray function on that they're just pretty much clueless. And there, finally, Som seems to realise.
They're expecting something. There's no weapons on the London LYNX side either,
yeah,
so
they
they've
went
gone
for that A stack.
eco.
Yeah, they went for an A stack, and it's obviously not paid off. A bit unfortunate, it can happen, and you pick the wrong side to go to. But look at the presence of the T players in this side. You only have to look with the X-ray on to see the absolute vast numbers of them there. But the likes of JS pushing forward, put down by Powell, and now Som joins in on the fun. But Powell finds another, taking down 2 so far. It's an absolute festival of shooting fish in a barrel right now. These guys have no hope of really claiming anything here. I do feel almost bad for Stato and Vertigo, but they are in a great position. But look at the swarm heading back down towards them. He's got an absolute flurry of frags. Picks up 1, look at the second. Not going to happen there. Great little headshot, but not today, say the Infused boys. As there we go. They'll clean up that round, bring the scoreline to 3-2. Interesting play from Infused. They're going to build up that confidence again. They get their minds in the right places, and hopefully they can kind of pick up the pace a bit here.
Yeah, managed to pick up an extra couple of rounds. Going to be good for their confidence, especially, as you say, very vocal players. Once they start talking to each other, once they start getting lively, getting them woken up, that morale really does help carry them through. Do you see what on the CT side? We see another buy. We've got AWPs, we've got some big weapons again, so nothing quite so crazy as it was before. Throwing this again. They do spread out a little bit better. Where's the bomb going? Bomb's going towards B again, but we do see Zeox here with us, currently flanking around towards the A side, just to cause a little bit of distraction, get a little bit of attention onto himself, maybe direct some players away from that B bomb site. Stato though, watching. London LYNX not ready to move yet. Paint's taking quite a bit of punishment, but other than that, They're staying locked down in the positions they were, locking both of those sites up, not letting any members of Infused close. A couple of nades coming out down this A side now. We just see Pez with a little bit of a firefight down. Nice land, nade does land onto Tom Vertigo. Force him to back away for now. Bomb still over towards B. Critical's got that one again, as you mentioned before. Not getting the frags, but he's still doing a lot of work with his team, carrying the bomb. We do see Zeox come around this corner. AK fire straight out onto Sato. Was in scope as it happened. Couldn't quite land that all-important shot. The AWP down. It's expensive. They can't pick it back up again. Bomb site is now owned by Infused. They've got that bomb in here. It's going to get planted. Critical will drop that down. It's now all on the CT side once more to come and retake it. They've had to do this a couple of times and it hasn't really worked out for them. Can they do it better this time around? 4v4. Making their way in. Shots flying out. Vertigo and Paint already very low. Critical playing this very safe. Som is dropped. Nice kill for Pulse. And it does look like the CT side are being cleaned up. Paint has 8 HP and he's got 3 to find. This is going to be a huge round for him if he can pull it off. He's got a couple of seconds left. He could just try and save his weapons, but he's being surrounded by these T players on all sides coming in. Pulse gets the last kill. Another easy round for Infused.
Yeah, great round there. The distraction play coming out from Zeox as he did push towards the A site, initially went through apartments, kind of laid down a lot of fire. I think Pez even joined him for a little bit through mid, came up, laid down some fire as well, really distracted the CT players, took out one as well, taking down, I think it was the AWPer actually. Big opening frag there, that was really key to them kind of taking this and then pushing straight on to B. The pressure was literally spread throughout this map. The individual talent that came from Zeox there just really pinned them down. Normally you take a couple of players to really kind of push the A side and kind of make a bit of a fuss. He did it on his lonesome and that's exactly what. But look at these CT players, they are all raring to go. Look at this, the absolute stack. Oh my god, it's going to be an absolute bloodbath around this corner and here we go. Fire comes out, Pez finds 1, 2 and well, the rest find the others and the CT side were like lambs to the slaughter. And dear god, that just incredible. It's very rare you see a full stack like that where both teams go in the exact same place at the exact same time. The CT side obviously were just on pistols, trying to pick up a couple of frags here and there, get some money worked away from the Infused boys, but that was an absolute slaughter for the London LYNX guys, and the lead will now go into the hands of Infused. So 4-3 is the scoreline, guys, and well, this is the first map and I can see this one really panning out rather nicely. Yeah,
we saw them drop those first 2 rounds. You made a quick comment about how they were investing very early from then on out, but since then they've dropped 1 round and 1-4, so it's clearly worked for them, as Critical said to you earlier. They're just going to play their own game,
yeah,
and if their own game is working for them, why change it? Do get a good shot, as you mentioned, dropping Stato for the first frag of the round. Paint is dropped now too. That's the B site opening up. This is Infused again making that push on in. Som's there on his own. Som's no longer there. Infused do have this B bomb site. It's on Vertigo and JS again to come back around and retake it against 5 players. Vertigo's not. It's all on JS. Now, it wouldn't surprise me at all to see him just save his weapon here as he does get one last kill. I mean, we've seen them struggling for money in the last couple of rounds. Is he really going to get onto 5? No, save your weapon. Instead, he catches a grenade to the face.
Bruno Mars the hell out of that, didn't he? Bless him. Did not go well. But once again, we do see the T-side still sticking with all AKs. Normally you see a bit of an investment into an AWP by now, in my experience of this game, and they can challenge quite nicely. I think we've seen the likes of Stato, they're running with one. We saw, I think it was down Banana, trying to AWP up, didn't land the shot, sadly. I think he got absolutely put to bed by Critical that round, so that's been a mistake. They do seem to be stacking this B site. Once again, back on the pistols, do have a couple of nades here and there, but that is about it. Pushing all the way down Banana, it seems. Going to flash out and push down, but I think the T-side are going the complete opposite way. Yeah, indeed, we do have one player laying away. Oh, it's Vertigo at 1, looking for the second. Can't claim it. Zeox will deny that. One-man stand in the apartments as now the CTs are pretty much on the back foot here. They're all in the wrong site. And the T players are very much getting their teeth towards this A area. And the rotate is finally coming in. Let's see if we can find those guys. Have a little spin through. Yeah, we do see Stato by CT Arch peering through.
Still no weapons, are they?
No, not much you can do at this point. They're just trying to make the best of a bad situation. He has spotted Critical, who's already done some fair bit of damage this round. Laying down some fire, not going to happen. Critical backing off, allowing his teammates to now progress further forward. But here we go, they're spinning round. They're not actually pushing so lightly into the sites. Even on a pistol, they're not wasting a moment here. So Critical getting that bomb down towards the site. Seems to be struggling with that little bit of a step there. CT players now having to make the same move. They were. Powell waits to receive a good absolute stack of players who are now pushing all the way around towards the from mid all the way back around apartments. This is a bit of a questionable push from them. Critical finding one, that's Som finding the second. I've spun to the wrong person because it's all Critical right now, pushing down onto Payne. Oh, it's the hat-trick of frags for Critical there. Looking for the fourth. Will we be able to find Stato, who's sprinting away with his dear life, just running for the hills and just cowering in the corner. He's found an AK and he's clinging to it like it's the last hope of his entire existence.
Hunting him. Powell's going around the corner. Oh, no
dear.
AK for you.
Not going to happen that time. And Infused, well, they're in the swing of things now.
They are. They've got that momentum, as she said, and they're getting round after round, back to back. Something London LYNX have to do. They have to break this. They need to figure something out here. They've got a lot of weapons again. They've bought that AWP up. Haven't seen too many incredible shots, really, from Stato in this round for it. I mean, we've seen, as you mentioned, Infused haven't even bought one. They don't feel the need for it here. Are they wasting money on that? I haven't really seen him do too much or have too much of an impact with it.
Oh, I don't think they need it when
Didn't
Powell
even
literally
need
is
that.
one-bulleting people absolutely everywhere. That's incredible to see here. He's clearly happy with that one. I can imagine the vocals coming from them are pretty damn loud right now, but Zeox just walked into an absolute trap. They're set by Vertigo. Very cool, calm and collected play from him, waiting in the apartments. Very good play. But let's have a little look where the T side are deciding to venture towards. It does seem to be the Beast Bomb side again, and they seem very comfortable here. And the way they're playing, it's very hard for an AWP to kind of keep that in mind. I think that's why the likes of Stato aren't really involved in this game all that much. They aren't really pushing the A site. They're going to focus towards B. Here we go. Pulse leads the way, peering forward, edging closer to the possible enemies. Around the corner is Som to pick up one. Pulse replying though, and now all even 3v3. Pulse pushing further. They can really get into the site if they get moving now. They don't want to stop for a second. Powell pushes closer, trying to bring the fire, really push back Payne, and always caught him in construction. He's done a little bit of fire there, catching him off guard and chipping away with the nade as well. And the CT side now roping around towards his B-bomb side, but is it almost too little too late? Oh, Powell does lay down some more fire. He's tagging them up, but he's not able to finish his meals right now. He's leaving his dinner half done, and Mum is not going to be pleased. So here we go. Vertigo now pushing forward, straight through. Here comes Payne as well. JS not too far behind. Nade's flying out. That's going to catch Pulse a bit, but will it be enough? Pushing forward, it's Vertigo to find the first, finds Powell. Oh, Payne, great shot, but one man sends it's all on Pez now. 1v2, the bomb is down and ticking. Oh, he's got the tag, gets the frag, goes for the seconds. Oh, incredible play from Pez there, finding two frags. London LYNX couldn't do anything.
Nothing. It was just stand there and watch as they got dismantled. 7-3, Infused picking up round after round on the back of each other. They've dropped
They clearly
one.
seem happy as well. You can see the grins over their faces and that happened. So clearly happy they're actually working on that late gameplay towards the B side. Because the first couple of rounds was a little bit tentative there, wasn't it? Didn't quite work for them. They got in, they got the initial picks, that was great. But the kind of late gameplay didn't really happen. But now clearly worked that little kink out.
Infused definitely looking deflated there too. You can see them on your screen.
Yeah.
Why are they deflated? I'm completely making things up. They're not deflated. Critical's loud. They do find one frag. A nice bounce up from behind their car, picking up one more for Payne. Tanked up a little bit. Stato down again. Got some more weapons out here for those London LYNX players. Didn't see if Stato had an AWP again this time around or not, but Powell does.
Oh, that's a new addition.
Because
Maybe
they're pushing towards A.
Stato, who knows?
Maybe he did. He's making his way up. Going for these longer passes. Using that AWP this time. Bomb is on Critical again. And he's still leading the way. Beautiful shot onto JS. As soon as he peeks around that corner, he's dropped. There's another CT player on this site. They can have a rough idea of where he is. Powell does lose his AWP, drops down for that one. But Zeox will find him in return. Bomb's going to get down very quickly. Critical is in there planting. There he goes. Now the two remaining members of CT come in. Paint is dropped first. It's now all on Som to find 3 and defuse. He's got 14 HP. And he's deciding to let the bomb go and save his weapons.
Away. It is safe for a better day, that one, and look forward to the next couple of rounds because, well, the tides are changing. London LYNX look extremely strong in the beginning, but now it's falling by the wayside, and they need to kind of get their heads back in the game here. They can't keep resting on their laurels. It's not going to keep happening unless you force it. Infused are literally leading the pace. Very dominant play from them. They're confident. They're clearly getting in mind what they're doing, and even Som being challenged here, he does find one that's critical, so he's going to keep hold of that in for a little bit longer, and there we have it. So he can go forward with a little bit of extra money in his pocket and a bit of a weapon beside him. So clearly not a bad day all around for one of the London LYNX guys, but the rest, it's not going too well. But Powell is now running with that AWP after that last shot. I don't really doubt him either. That was an incredible play, opening up onto CT Arch there, just pushing around. Very confident play. And let's see if he opens a shot, because, well, the CT side now, money-wise, are not looking great.
They are trying to get some kind of weapon, something they can actually use to defend this, while at the same time not having any money. Powell actually heading towards the B side this time with his AWP. Trying to wallbang a couple of shots out. Nothing too crazy going to land though. You do see those two CT players over there again. It's the same kind of positions they were in before, but they haven't really been able to do much with it. We do see a nice frag from Stato this time with the Famous just charging in onto Pez. There's only 3 team members left up though. Zeox, Pulse and Powell. Still going to try and do something here. This is looking good for the CT side for the first time in quite a while. And they've got this locked down. There's 2 members pushing in towards this A site. The bomb is with them. On Zeox again, he's already tanked up a little bit. Starts pushing through Arch. Down towards low, heading towards that spawn for CT. Som finds him, drops him down, but Som's immediately shut out by Pulse. Picks up the bomb and immediately darts back towards the A site. 2 players here though, and now they know exactly which way he's coming from. You can see it there with the X-ray. So Sato is looking in this direction, waiting for him to peek around the corner. He's out. Here he comes. Oh, Pulse with a massive headshot. Waiting for another player. And no, that rampage cannot continue. JS finds him. Now it's Powell. He's got 13 HP and he's on his way in. Can't quite find it.
Ouch. It's gotta hurt. But it was a good bit of play coming from the T side. I don't think we can really question what they did there. You couldn't win that. That's when the defensive side just kind of say, okay, we'll play to the timeline, then we don't need to rush this. I think Critical's just keeping that in mind. He's not too worried as of yet. I think with the lead they've got, they're actually feeling quite comfortable. Obviously, they said before in the little quick chat we have them prior to this game that a couple of months ago they wouldn't have been too keen on this, keen on this map. The likes of London LYNX do clearly know what they're doing here, and they do know who they're coming up against. So, it does seem as though they've done their homework, but nevertheless, Infused are still pulling through, and that's what I like about them. They're really not giving up any way, shape, or form. They're really keeping the pace on. And Som has found that first frag onto Powell, so opening this up in favour to the CT side, as they're maybe questioning this B-bomb site for once, and maybe Pez will decide to try something else. Who knows? We have to see how this one pans out. The CT side, and once again, sitting back fairly comfortably. They don't need to challenge right now. There's no any rush for it at all. So, let's see who's going to open this one up properly. When's that rush going to happen? Where's it going to come? Critical peering towards the B-bomb site, flashing out, getting ready to rumble. Here we go. The flashes are landing perfectly to blind some of the CT players. But Som's found one again. He's really keeping this up. Found another, but finally put to bed by Zeox. Sato chimes in on the fun. It's all on Pez once again. Can't land it. And there we go. Put down by Paint. And the London LYNX boys are back in this one. 5-8 is the scoreline, and they are definitely not out of this in any way, shape, or form.
No, they can easily grab these last 2 rounds and make this a very, very close first half. They are by no means over and out. And as you say, you've then got the next round. They attack. They can have some different strats. They're going to know little bits about Infused play now, try and exploit that second half round. So this is by no means over. London LYNX definitely getting in their stride. Started to get a bit of money on them too. Started to buy some proper weapons here again. And where are the T side heading this time? Does look like the bomb's heading towards B once more. It's actually down at the moment. Critical picks it up again. Now they're heading towards that B side. Nade's coming out, heading up towards Banana.
It's very split, this attack, isn't it? You got a couple of folks.
They're waiting for that opening, waiting for 1 or 2 kills, 1 or 2 frags here and there, and then they'll push around that side looking for the rotate. As it is, Pez is the first one down, so Infused are on the back foot. They do look like they've decided on the B site. More smokes and flashes coming out, just waiting. You can see in the X-ray there are still just 2 CT players in there. Flashes are down. Critical's firing out, but he's low himself. Does get a 1, but he's immediately dropped from behind by Paint. Some found 1, Paint found 1. Paint doing work down this side again. He's got 1 more to find. He knows it. Here's Zeox coming up over the side. Paint with a 3 or 4, man.
No one's incredible play on the bomb side. I think it was Som the round before, and the individual players from the CT side are finally waking up. It seems they're like, okay, guys, well, let's not rush this. But is it too little, too late? It is the last round of the first half here in a phenomenal game between Infused and London LYNX at Epic.TEN. So, guys, if you are enjoying this, make sure you retweet the stream, get it out there, and we will make sure the action keeps coming. So, straight into this one, we'll be seeing London LYNX once again setting up as per usual. Paint and Som getting themselves towards that B-bomb side, but where are the T players going? They've got to play this right because it can't be missed for a second, but Som is pushing straight down towards Banana, taken out by Pulse, but Paint replying quickly, avenging his fallen teammate and leaving it a 4v4 situation, but Critical is bleeding from his boots even, as now 2 players will now progress towards that Banana area, pushing up towards B. Paint has to sit back and hope that one of his teammates can create a crossfire so they can't just walk up here, but will the T players risk it? That is the question. I don't think they will. Pez now looking towards A, peering around the corners, cautiously biding his time. He doesn't want to invest too heavily yet. And look where the bomb is as well. I think we need to keep that in mind at this point. I think finally realising what they fancy doing here and pushing a bit closer. to their final go, I do believe. So here we go, pushing around. This could be a bit of trouble coming up here, but there we go, put to bed by Critical. He claims that frag rather comfortably, as now here comes the push, and oh, someone's going to be in trouble. It's Sado finding one, not going to land the no-scope, put down by Pez, as now it's a 3v2, only Vertigo and Paint left standing. But, well, one of them's in a rather good position here, finding one, looking for the second, and, well, Paint's more than capable of doing this. He did get a beautiful hat-trick last round. Can he find another? Two now remain, Pez and Zeox to claim. And look at the HP on them. It's not looking great right now. And oh, that was close. So now Paint has to push forward. The bomb and the time is now against him. It's all on Pez. Actually, let's spin onto him. Let's find out where Pez is standing. Now, trying to hold firm. Trying to be the remaining pillar. He's claimed one. It's a 1v1 now. Vertigo up against Paint. And Vertigo up against Pez even. And now let's see how this is going to go down. So, Vertigo on the bomb site. He's down a little bit of a fake, I do believe. Pez goes back for seconds, but look at the tags are flying out. This is so close, it's unbelievable. Who's going to go first? That is the question. Pez edging closer. Oh, and it's Vertigo to get that one there. And clearly happy with that, but I don't think he's got enough time to get the bomb site. He played the time really well there. Pez, very smart play, just played to the time limit. He knew the bomb was going to go off eventually, and it was by a couple of seconds. So Pez couldn't land the frag, but he knew how to play that enough to dance with the time and get that locked on. So good hustle around. 69 is the scoreline. We saw the London LYNX guys get a very good early advantage there, but it was easily rectified once Infused got into the swing of things, kind of realised what was going wrong, got their heads in the right place, and kind of got back into it. And these guys clearly are focused. They were here stupidly early. I mean, I was here writing notes up, and these guys were here as well. So they are clearly ready for this. They've been getting themselves in the right mind. So I want to see if London LYNX can somehow break that, because they're a very capable team.
We do see this early pistol round then. See how it shapes up before. As we mentioned, we saw London LYNX win the last one. Infused, however, managed to break that hold. This time round, London LYNX are going to push in onto this B side. They are heavily stacked here with all 5 players. Found one. Some gets that headshot onto Pulse. There's one more player locked in this side. Critical gets one. Paint is that victim. So Vertigo's here. JS is around. Starting to see more kills coming down. There's only 2 members of Infused let up, and they've got to retake this bomb site now. Bomb has been planted. Nice little bit of cash for that. Pez 13 HP with 4 to find. He's got one coming around behind him, and that's all it takes. Nice opening round from London LYNX, just like we saw them before. Can they hold on to it this time, though? Yeah, it was a real blitz towards B then. They didn't hold back for a second. I think Critical took down one, possibly on the site, but it wasn't enough to keep them back long enough. That was the problem, you know. As soon as they were there, they swarmed it. There was no coming back from that. It was so hard to retake it, and Pez's positioning, it was good, but it wasn't good enough. And even Som kind of took up the mantle by sitting around the back by Ruins, and as soon as they don't push through, it was just straight there. So T side of London LYNX clearly ready for this one, picking up the first round here, and obviously going forward off the back of that pistol round, you do get the money, you get the guns, you get the confidence, and the next couple of rounds generally fall in your favour. But we do see the T side rather tagged up early on. CT players not taking this one lightly. Powell lays in wait. You can see just how close they are to landing this. Just putting down some fire, holding back the opposition, allowing a possible teammate to get a little bit closer. Oh, here comes the counter flash pushing around the corner towards mid. It's CT after is contested. Som and JS quickly dispatch of those two. And now edge ever closer towards A. Looking towards this bomb site. Where is there any sort of resistance going around? That is a question. I think it will be in the form of Zeox, who found one. That was Som who goes down. Just finding his teammates killer, pushing for JS, and Vertigo do find the remains, and JS follows up with the second there. Great play from them, really handling the threat that was Infused. They came around at a good time there. They could have caught a couple more off guard, but with the T side so switched on this morning, they clearly had their care logs and they're ready to rumble. No, they are pushing in again. We've got a lot more weapons this time around. Strato, are you buying it up or not? No. I think he's stuck with his MP7. There it is. So he's got a little bit of firepower. The rest of his team are running AK, so they've got quite a bit of damage in them now. So a lot of them just kept their weapons from the previous round, because why not? We do have the Infused guys still locked back on pistols. Critical taking quite a bit of poke around the B side. Doesn't look like London LYNX looking to rotate up towards A. Maybe not. They're still deciding. They're waiting for that opportunity, waiting for that opening. Critical is wounded. That's about it. Paint just the same now. Paint does get one frag onto Zeox. There's the first one of the game. Flash out down towards that A site. Goes back around to regroup the rest of his team now.
Look at them. All the way to B. Clever play. They really rotated quick on that one, didn't they? Yeah,
they forced that rotate out to A. Everyone from CT has gone across there. There's only 3 of them up now, and that's completely opened up this B bomb site. Very well played by Paint. He took them all away and took them over there, allowing the rest of his team to come around and do exactly this. There is one CT player here. It's Pulse. He's found one. Now he's hiding down with his pistol. The rest of the CTs have come to join him. Dodges out that flash. There is a weapon now here on Powell. He's managed to pick that up off a dead body. Picks up one. No, he doesn't. Som and JS doing work.
Not sure if that was the best choice for him there. I thought he could have had just enough time to maybe pace himself a touch, but maybe not. Maybe he knows clearly better. I mean, the threat was extinguished. So 99 the scoreline, it's all even, and now as the first round we'll see the CT players, the newly appointed CT players, which is Infused, pick up some weapons. So I want to see what they can do with it. I want to see if anyone's feeling like AWPing this time. We do see Powell kind of heading towards that right area. Seahawks as well, yeah, is Powell with the AWP there, just peering down towards mid. Not overly committing yet. The Smokey's going to just kind of avert his gaze, so there's no real point in him kind of just standing there, maybe trying to support Zeox a bit by taking up Parliament to allow him to sit back and hold it a bit closer. So Vertigo looking towards it. Where are the rest of the T players? Pushing up Banana just a touch, just griefing out the likes. I think it's Critical actually playing that area. And here comes the fire. It's going all into the face of Critical, not actually landing in any way, shape or form. It's JS who comes out tagging out of that little exchange. And now everyone's still standing. 1 minute 24 on the board. It's not over yet. Critical going back for more. You can see him, obviously that is what they see, it's not a great deal, so JS now peers around, he can see the Tracer fire coming through, but somehow claims it on 4 HP, and that has got to be hurting for Critical. He's not happy with that one, so one more player still remains on that B-bomb side though, it's not over yet. The T-players have averted themselves, going towards A, it seems. As Pez will now sit back in towards that CT Archer, allow one of these players to take the flak. So I'm pushing forward, it's actually Zeox to claim it, but Sato takes out his own teammate in the absolute maelstrom that goes down towards that CT Archer. Now, we do see a 3v2 in favour of the CT players, so let's see where these guys are still standing. We have Vertigo alive, laying down the fire. He does tag up one. That is Powell, but will it be enough? That is the question. He's going to spin around. Oh, he's missing absolutely key shots here. He needs to be landing these and really alleviating that pressure from his one standing teammate, that is JS, who is severely tagged up. But has he checked sight enough? Now he will. Claims another headshot. They're taking down Powell. Critical wasn't enough. He wants more, and he gets it. So JS now putting down that bomb. 2v2 all even, but with HP like JS's, you've got to be careful, and well, Pulse claims that, and now 2v1 and make it 2v none, as there we have it. The CT side will edge further away now, breaking the back of London LYNX after that nice little run they had. So finally, they get back into it, and once they get those weapons beside them, Infused seem a lot more comfortable.
Yeah, and we did just see it there, right then. Pez picked up the scope, stole it off a dead buddy. Yeah. Gonna drop it into Powell, give him that for free. Starts flipping the weapons around and getting everyone up to a very powerful state. Pulse even has an AK sitting there. So what are you going to do as the London LYNX side? It looks like an eco round. They're going to sit there and stack up. Which way are they going to go? They're all keeping their pistols. Does look like they're going towards A. Sitting one go towards that B side, just a little bit of a distraction, but it's going to come back and regroup shortly. Nade's going out, 5 men through the apartments, pistols at the ready. Glocks are here. There's a guy waiting for him downstairs. He's going to hear something. Forces to regroup. Here's the entire CT side starting to come around. Paint and Som dropped very quickly by Zeox. He's only on 4 HP left. He's dropped down now 2. It's 2 members of the T side left up. Still 3 counter-terrorists waiting to try and find them. They've got the big weapons. Stato and JS tagged down very low. Pez only on 10 HP sitting on the bomb site. Flash goes out. Critical and Pulse coming around. Critical taking a little bit of a while going through the apartments, going the slow way. But Pulse is there.
Could pay off here the way he's going.
Exactly. He's coming around. They've locked him down. They held him in this position. He's coming out to the top side. He's got both players below him. They don't seem to realise he's here just yet. He's playing it careful though. No reason to risk it. Pez does manage to find Stato. There's only one left. He leaps down and lands on his head. Doesn't even have a chance to respond.
No, indeed. That was pretty much going one way there. Critical leaping out at the last second. He may have been out his teammate, but it looked pretty cool. That is the important part. So, 9-11 is the scoreline on the first map here at Epic.TEN, and this is Infused up against London LYNX. Now, we did see yesterday the likes of Infused struggling just a touch against Fish123, but London LYNX did have a toe TLR, so these guys aren't doing perfectly well, but they're both very talented teams. So we are in for an absolute great game here. T-side back with a little bit of money. Not forced to eco out again, but the tags are flying out. Som and Stato not in the best of ways, possibly catching a nade to the face there, I do believe, and now having to try and pick up the mantle somewhere else, possibly. Still poking around, still looking for action, and I don't know if I'd want to challenge the 2 players that are there, if I'm completely honest with you. I might try somewhere else, but need to fly over. I don't think they've even tagged that many players. It might have touched Critical for a second. Powell has found Paint though, so the advantage with the defending CT players that are Infused, but is it enough to hold on now? I think the rotate may be coming out soon as, well, they're not left to much of an option. Let's see where this player is deciding to go. I think there's some eyes trained on this location. Nevertheless, the player who claimed the previous frag is just around the corner. Are they waiting to go? I think they are. They're waiting for another pick. Do excuse me, guys. And it is pretty much at a stalemate right now. Which site will they pick? Just peering around, I think it's about to be time to go. The nades, the flashes are all lined up, and it is go time, folks. Vertigo now peers out, but just beyond the apartments, as Zeox will find the first, breaking the silence that has taken the T side so long to just muster together. As here we go, the flashes now once again flying out, bit of a delay there, but allowing the CTs to get such a presence towards the A bomb site, they're going to have to go for it. Pez found one, he's looking for a second, gets the tag, not the frag just yet, and oh, JS will find him first. Som and JS now stand for the T players, looking for the remaining four, and this is going to be an uphill struggle. The best of times is now it's all on one, it's all on JS. Fire already there, and Power and Zeox will get those last two, and near on clean sweep for the Infused boys there, only dropping Pez that round. Very impressive stuff, 12-9.
Yeah, they're starting to stretch this away again. It was close for a while, but they're starting to get their momentum, winning a couple of rounds on the trot now, back up to a 3-round advantage, and once again T-side are going eco. Very few grenades bots. They're keeping their pistols out. Which way are they going to go with it? They've seen them stack it up before. Bombs drop completely. Stacking towards B. Stacking towards the B side. Do send one player around toward A, just as a little bit of distraction. Catch a couple of nades. There's a player right around this corner. He's hiding behind the car. It's critical. He drops some, but he gets dropped very quickly. JS with a beautiful shot. A little bit of help from Pez as well. Bring the rest of the CT side across towards B now, slowly but surely. It's a fairly slow push actually coming out from the T side now. Yes, they all ran straight up banana, but they are switching it back up, keeping it fresh, keeping it infused on their toes.
Keeping it real, to be fair. I'm not sure why.
I didn't. I avoided. You saw him there, Tom Vertigo, and ignored him. Let him pop you in the head. That's your own fault.
Indeed, that's not how you want to go down, is it?
Not at all, and the rest of them are now pushing in towards the B site. There is actually a weapon on JS. He managed to pick up Critical's one, but he's dropped for his trouble. Paint, however, returns with a frag onto Pulse. Go back and pick up the weapon, Paint. He walks straight past it. He has 2 HP, but the bomb is down. He's coming straight out around this corner. There's a CT player here. Land the first shot, but it's not enough. Look at Zeox, 4 HP after getting that kill. And Pez on 2.
It was possible. That's the sad thing.
Possible.
You can never write out a situation like that. You can never quite guess how low the HP is. You can kind of estimate. You can go, I tagged it very badly, maybe one shot here and there, but it's never quite enough. And well, we saw the damage that was done there by not investing enough into your own kind of ability. But no, that's the T side. Arm back with the weapons. They do have a couple of AKs spread out here, there, and everywhere. But the CT side pretty much flush for cash right now, as you can see. Zeox clearly racking up the funding. And feeling rather comfortable about that. But let's see what's happening. Oh, the CT players are actually on a bit of a push here, it does seem. Let's have a little look. It's Pez actually leading the way. Spin onto him. Oh, he's just around the corner for one. That is Vertigo laying in wait. Drops down the nade, looking to push around and just touch the touch. Will he get caught in time? No, he actually gets out of there just alive and literally being missed by centimetres by the opposing players. It is mad when you see it with the X-ray on, how close people get to seeing the opposition every single time. But let's see how this one pans out. Obviously, the T side and the CT side still pretty much all intact, apart from Vertigo. He did get a touch tagged up, but clearly not enough. We do still see the likes of Pulse just waiting back. Who's he joined by? Is it Pez normally? Yeah, no, tell a lie. It is Critical, sorry, on that B-bomb site. With Pulse just waiting it out. Absolute stalemate here. Trying to wait for someone to make the mistake, but it's Powell actually to claim the first mistake onto Vertigo with that orb shot, rattling through the brain of our dear UK friend. So, Pulse now still waiting for it. The smoke and flash exchanges are so key in this. It's unbelievable, but Zeox has found one nevertheless, and they've completely cleared the threat away from A. It's all on the 3 that remain by that B-bomb site. Will JS, Pain, and Stato be able to do anything here? Let's see. So pushing towards the absolute trouble that could be this B-bomb site between Critical and Pulse. And here we go. Stato did find one, but will he be able to find the other? Oh, Pulse, 1-2. Not going to get the third, though. Pain will deny the hat-trick, but leaving it all in his hands. 1v3. 17 HP to go. This is a bit of a tough situation for him, isn't it?
It is, but he's got the bomb down, so he's got a bit of cash from that. The 2 come around the corner. Doesn't even get out of the flash before he drops on 17 HP was all he has left from Pulse. And it's an easy defuse for Powell.
Indeed, we're edging closer to that first kind of real waypoint in this game. It is going to be a best of 3 because this is an important game here. Obviously, no one's taking this lightly. And let's see who's going to get closer to that point. And I think, well, the London LYNX side guys are actually going for a bit of a buy-in now. Obviously the money is paying off and they can have a nice even round with the guys and actually see how they're faring overall. We see a lot of ecos and it may look impressive every now and then to get like a 4-man or something, but obviously with inferior weapon and firepower beside you, you can only be expected to do too much damage unless you get right, and then we expect a lot from you. But at the moment, you see this Alex Powell and Sato still sticking with that ult, but not really challenging at mid. They haven't been doing that much. They've been more focused on Banana for the T side, and then obviously the CT kind of AWPer just kind of peering around. But the T players are kind of converging towards a side. They are slowly but surely deciding. Pez dropping out the flash. And Tel allows the smoke actually holding them just a little bit further back. Som as well, just laying in wait. It is that tentative, cautious game that happens here, just cat and mouse teasing around each corner, waiting for someone to break the silence and make the first move, and it's just who's going to do it, that is the question.
Som's looking as if he wants to.
Oh, he's dying to, isn't he? He's itching to go forward.
Just on the edge. There we go, he sees that flash come out. He's going to dodge it, he's going to avoid it, throwing out their own nades. There's a big wave of them coming out. Zeog's dodging the flash by staring at a wall, and around come the T side. One's down, Som immediately responds though. Finding the next CT player. Paint fixed that one up very quickly done. Only 3v3 now, but they're onto the A-bomb site. So that Paint is dropped quickly by Powell, who's waiting on there.
Incredible shot. Can he get the third though? He does. That was an incredible hat-trick from Powell. I just missed the start of it, but the close range AWP work on the A-bomb site was incredible. That man locked it down completely and utterly, taking his team to match point. I think that's a big pat on the back for him. Clearly chuffed with that one. He's looking very happy with himself, and I don't blame him one bit. You might actually keep Critical happy in a game of Counter-Strike if he's lucky. Who knows?
And he did it without shooting through a big metal girder.
Oh,
did it properly.
You really hating on Devour right now? Is that what you're doing? You cast a couple of games.
It shouldn't have gone through there.
We're not having this discussion right now. Back in the day when you were still playing Tetris, don't give it large. But we are on match point now, and Pez obviously is opening up in the right way for Infused.
He is, picks up that first frag. You do see Pound out with his AWP back in the apartments. They're waiting for someone to peek around this corner. If he waits long enough, they're going to happen. He sees one, doesn't quite land anything. Nope. Just the weapon got thrown around the corner.
Smart move from Powell as well. This guy's brain is switched on at the moment right now, isn't it?
You know, someone's around there. It is Som. Someone's waiting.
Oh, he's gone away.
Yeah, smart move. That AWP was waiting for him. Oh, Stato missing a big shot. That would have been critical. And it comes from Pez. Do see 3 members of the CT side left up. Only 4, however, for Terrorist. Is this looking good for London LYNX? Are they going to get to double figures? Are we going to hit their 10th round?
But look where the vast majority of the players are going. It's all on Paul's shoulders right now.
He's got to find them. They know exactly where he is. He's getting tagged up. Doesn't get a single one this time after some big rounds earlier on. Can't quite make it count here. Bomb is down. Critical and Xerox now. It's on to you if you want to take this map here and now. Critical decides to go for a bit of a climb.
Just chilling.
A little bit of monkey bars. And, well, JS decides monkey's not allowed in this. Drops him down very quickly. No more climbing for you. It's almost like he caught some illicit activities and pushed out of a tower.
Was that a terrible kind of reference to Game of Thrones?
It works.
This is why we don't allow you to talk for too long. Cause just
kind of been a terrible reference if you understood what it was about.
Wincest. Anyway, the T-side will cling on for just another round here for a second further, but it is still on that match point, that critical round difference where it can swing one way or the other pretty much. It is down to that very moment where if you take that wrong step, that wrong footway in the left direction or a bit too far to the right, you can cost your team such an important point. Because this isn't first to, 25 like we'll do. This is best of 3. Yep. This comes down to maps.
We've seen London LYNX already have a draw in the first game we saw them do against TLR. Only 5 rounds, that's not as much as it sounds. They could, in theory, snowball this all the way back through to even this map up as well. We'll see. Infused really do not want that to happen, though, of course. And to stop it, they're going to have to take out this A push as it arrives. Here. To see Pez drop down. Paint gets that one. Vertigo picks Powell as well. There are only 3 CT players left, and 2 of them are on the B-bomb site. The bomb itself and everyone from...
Zeox, oh my god, right round from behind of Som, but does get taken out by Vertigo, but that was some sneaky ninja play there. Not gonna lie to you guys. So now Pulse and Critical left standing. Only 2 players remain. Can they somehow win this one right here and now? 2v3. Here we go. Bomb is down. Well, there goes Pulse. It's all in one man's hands. It's all on the big man himself. It's all on Critical. Edging further. Knock today, says Paint. Takes him out with a beautiful headshot there, rattling through the brain of Critical as it's still on match point, and London LYNX cling on for another one. I don't know how the hell they manage this. If they come back to a 15-all...
I might have just jinxed Infused.
I think you might have. I think you should go out and apologise.
Called it a bit soon.
Go out and apologise right now.
I'm scared of Critical.
But the money situation that's going on with the CT players now, it's not looking great. A couple of pistols, a shotgun... They're not in the best situation, though. They're putting a lot of effort into towards the A-bomb side and having to play this a little bit different now because of that money situation. It's really going to come down to the wire here.
It is, and we do see Power actually getting very aggressive down apartments, leaping out. It doesn't take quite a bit of shot from Tom Vertigo. Dropped, in fact, going to now fight shotgun versus AK. Tom Vertigo taking more damage than Zeox, in actual fact, and is the one that's forced to back out. 30 HP, not a single shot landed onto Power. However, Pez down to 16 HP as he's trying to defend this A site with his friends. Takes a bit of punishment. Paint coming around this corner. Pez is there. He can't see him, though. Both of them just waiting for the other to peek. Slow round for London LYNX. Smart round. They know they can lose this map right here, or they can keep the drag going. Nice kill by Som. Walks around onto Pulse. There's another player around this corner. It's Critical. They can't see him through the smoke, but they know he's there. He's dropped by Tom Vertigo. There's only Pez left, and he's got 16 HP, and it's another round for London LYNX.
Oh my god, this game is afoot, folks. And see for yourself, well, or Infused, as they are now titled. They're going to have to invest into this round massively because this is the one they want to win. They know that London LYNX are still looking pretty flush for cash, and you can't let it get any further now. So let's see how they do. This is coming down to the wire, folks. It is pretty much moments like this that can define a team or a LAN now. Because going forward, they do have some big opponents left standing. The likes of CRG still in this, TLR, and a good couple of others, and Fish123 obviously. So there are vast opponents still very much alive and kicking. But let's see where the T side are planning to go this round, as they are edging ever further forward towards that one favoured bomb site of theirs. And let's see if they're going to test the waters or if they're going straight in here. Peering around the corners, smokes are pluming out, but you know how they like to play this one slowly. They're not one of those teams who rush things. They are not going to rush this one for sure, as they know. Now, the CT players do have guns, but the first frag does fall in favour to London LYNX. That is Paint to claim that onto Pez, but Powell quickly replying onto Paint. So back and forth we go, left in a 4v4 situation. They're going to have to switch on and hit up here, and both of them going, yeah, nice shot, guys. Well played. It is nice to see it in this game. To be fair, they are, fairly good friends here. So I'm now pushing forward towards the B-bomb site. Lets off some flashes, but always blinded himself, and Pulse will find that very comfortably. Critical now lays in wait with mere morsels to devour. It's just to be the first, and Sato and only Vertigo left standing. This could be the absolute demise of London LYNX, as now there's a lot of work to do, and it's all in Vertigo's hands. Is it going to be enough? This is going to be an absolute cracker if he somehow pulls this out of the bag, but it's an uphill struggle, and well, it's not looking good. And there we have it. Powell will claim the first map here. GG's all around. And next map is going to be another hard one. These guys are clearly just going to have a little second to kind of think things over and try and get things in the right perspective for that next map that's coming up. Have a little chat, see how it goes, because obviously you want to be in the right mind frame going forward. You can't kind of misjudge where you're going, because as we saw initially, I thought, well, London LYNX have this in the bag. Very clean off the back of the pistol round, very confident, looking very comfortable going forward. But Infused obviously came back. They looked stronger as a collective. I think some of the London LYNX players were great. I think we saw a lot of work from Stato, Vertigo and co. Even though they weren't doing wonderfully on the scoreboard, Paint as well, they pulled through. So guys, I think we're going to go to a quick little break because these guys want to have a little team chat and sort themselves out mentally, make sure they're in the right place at the right time for the next couple of games coming up, and especially the next couple of maps, because well, they know what they want, and both teams know which maps are good and bad for each other, so this one's going to be a close one going forward now. Yeah,
they've got to completely rethink the strategies now, different maps, different play styles. You know exactly what your opponents are feeling like. You've got the leg up now. Infused, we saw there on screen, they're calm and collected, not overly excited, they know their work is not done yet, but they're comfortable with where they're sitting now. They've got that little bit of a buffer zone, so they can relax for 5-10 minutes, and then they can get back in their game, focus on the next map, hopefully in their case take home an easy win.
That's what we hope. But guys, we'll be back in 5 as soon as they get themselves ready for the next map. See you then.